Hey guys, Christina here, and today I have a flip through and a review of The Good and the Beautiful's Level K Language Arts program. So first of all, I'm going to turn the camera around and kind of give you a look at everything, and then I'll come back and give you some thoughts and our opinion on it. So here's a look at the Level K course book. This includes phonics, reading, spelling, literature, grammar and punctuation, and art appreciation. This is a book that a copy that I got from the company themselves, so I did not print this one myself. So I'll just kind of go through and show you a few things in here. So it starts off with at a glance, giving you an idea of what's going to be covered, and then the table of contents, and then it gives you information about the course. And so like here it has items that you need for the course. The Level K reader is one that you're going to need, and that is this book here. These are simple stories that you use at specific times throughout the course, and they're broken into sections. So it talks about suggesting like how to make the program work the way that they have planned for it to work. If you have multiple children, spelling patterns and words, not rushing, answer key. This is important to note here, the assessment. So some of the lessons begin with an assessment. If the child can pass the assessment, you actually skip the lesson. And I haven't seen that in any of the other levels we've used, so that's something just to keep in mind. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And then reading aloud to your child as well. So there's also mini books. There are 30 that come with the course. These came on pages like this, and I cut and I laminated the front and I bound them. You see my son got to one of these. And I just put them all on one coil like this. So these are all the mini books, and they're usually about 6 pages. Let's see in the beginning. So the first one is 7 pages. So kind of that 7-ish range. That's what those look like. And I just have a large coil I put them on, and it worked well doing it that way. So another little assessment to administer before starting the course. This is the Phonics Cards. So these are the Phonics Cards here. This is not the entire set. Kindergarten or the K level does not use the entire set. You only go up to 58. So they came like, it's almost like a laminated material, but not quite, and with the perforated edges. So I was able to just break it up, and then I just hole punched a corner and put it on a ring. And you break it up into learning, mastered, and not learned. And I just had 3 different rings that we would use and do it that way. These are the sight word ladders. So my daughter has finished this course, and we are just reviewing a few things. I'm going through like the phonics cards again with her. We're going through these a second time just to really solidify and make sure she understands and has everything kind of a good solid foundation before we move on. So that's why there's so many checks on here. There are the sight word ladders. Spelling words. So there is a spelling list here, and there's recommendations on how to use it here. What I did was she couldn't spell any of these words when we started, so I just put them all on cards, and this is actually mixed up with some of her brothers. But I would just choose, in the beginning I think we did 3 a week, and she would work on spelling those every day for that week, and then I would ask her at the end of the week how to spell them, and if she got them right, then we would just move on to new ones, and we just went through it that way. So you can see like there's a couple that she knew right off the bat, but most were brand new, and we just reviewed them and learned them that way. And you can like color. They have little coloring things when you finish. She colored some things, but others she wasn't interested in coloring. They have a poetry memorization section. This is something we did not do during the course, and I'll explain that a little later. So she's just doing this now. She is just about ready to say her second poem to some people, and then she's going to do a third one. You can see her little drawings in the book too. So this is an example of an assessment before a lesson. So if your child can check all these things off, then you can skip lesson 1. When my daughter started this, she had done the K primer, but it was quite a big leap to level K, and so we took it really slow and we did every lesson. I'll show you a few pages here. You can kind of see what it looks like. So there are some pages that they cut out and glue. There's ones with beautiful artwork in them. Let's see if I show you some of the cutout ones. Like that's one there where they have to glue into different categories. There's this one here where once they were done, there's words under here. They put the little clouds on there. It's very colorful. It's very engaging. Lots of variety in it for sure. My daughter loved that cupcake one we just passed too. So I'll kind of give you my thoughts on it now. So just before I do that, I forgot to show you at the very back is the appendix, and there's the charts and assessments. And so you can find all of those at the very back here. And you can do like timing at certain times when they tell you to if you want to. Keep track and kind of see progress there. Here's a quick look at the phonics cards as well, so you can kind of see what they look like. So at the beginning there's some sounds, and then they're just reading words and different sounds, and then here they're reading like more on one. Mine are a little out of order at the end here, but just so you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like as well. So overall, I really like the layout of this curriculum. I like how engaging and colorful it is. My daughter really enjoyed it. That said, when we started, she struggled. We found it was a really big leap from the K primer to level K. They have since come up with a supplement to go in between the two. I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything about that. But they are reworking the level K as well right now. So they're coming up with a different format, kind of having things more inclusive instead of the separate like spelling charts. I believe it's going to be like in the daily lesson and just a different format. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to kind of play out because I have one more child who's going to go through this probably. But I just wanted to go over a few other things. So there are a few, like I said, cut and paste or kind of activities. This was one that I did go ahead and laminate because I know my son will probably use it. It's just a little slider with the different words here, and my daughter's used that a few times. There was also one which I forgot to grab. It has a B and D matching game. I laminated that in order for her to keep using it, so she does that from time to time to match and recognize which are the B's, which are the D's, and what letters certain words start with. So for the writing, they're supposed to write like sentences every day, and that was just beyond my daughter's ability. And so I just had a little notebook like this, and when there was dictation, she did dictation stuff, but she didn't do the actual sentences. So we ended up taking, I think we did a couple weeks, and then we ended up taking about a month off and just doing reading together and just kind of taking it slow. And then we came back to it, and it was okay from there. She was like ready and prepared for that. There's also the recommendation for I think it's called Tile app, something to help with spelling. I didn't do that. My kids don't usually play with my phone. So I had these letters. These are like the Melissa and Doug wood letters. And then we also use this. This is the Magnetti book. And this is the alphabet one. So if you open it up, oh, I just tipped it all. There's like pictures and letters and that they can copy, and this is magnetic. Or I would just say what the word was and she would spell it out here. So kind of adding those hands-on and tactile things to help with the spelling are some of the things we use instead of using an electronic app. So my daughter found some of the mini books quite challenging. It seems almost as if they're introducing the words in here, which was a bit of a challenge, whereas the reader, she found much easier. This was actually quite easy for her. And one thing I didn't realize with the first section is when you get to it in the course book, you want to actually stop doing the course book and go through once that section, and then you go back and you're reading one a day while you're doing the lesson. And I missed that the first time, so in case anyone else misses it, that's what you need to know. So overall, we really enjoyed it. My daughter, I feel like she got a really good foundation. She learned to read. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed reading. It definitely is a little more advanced. And there was one thing that she still struggled with, and it was the very end here. is a silent e-practice chart. She's still working on this as well because that for some reason just didn't quite take for her. But overall, it was a good course. So The Good and the Beautiful is a Christian non-denominational program. So there's references to God and such in it, which works for our family. This level is not one that's offered for free. They do offer their PDF 1 to 5 for free, but this one is not. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it if you've used it, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I hope that this finds you having a great day. Take care. And I should add too, before I go, that there are only 47 lessons in the level K. You are not meant to do like a lesson a day. It's taking it at your child's pace and setting more of like a timer and just working on what you get through during that time. So just keep that in mind when you see that there's only 47 lessons. It is designed essentially for an entire year, but you take it slow and you do portions. That's one thing I believe that might be changing with the new one. I'm interested to see how they change that and how they make that work.